Hello and welcome to On the Street. I am Bukumi Ayo Ariyo. Well, many young people want to be entrepreneurs or love the idea of being called inventors, but not many of them are aware of the challenges that these people face. Well, if you're thinking along this line, then you need to see this to prepare your mind. Stay with us.
These are the hands of Adedoyin Adeleke. In a short while, the chicken he is carrying will lose all its feathers. The chicken feathering machine responsible for this was made by Doyin and his partner, Adekitan.
Now, when we were almost finishing, rounding up our BSc program in Ife at that time, I partnered with a colleague, Adekitan, to work on a chicken defeathering machine. And what brought the idea was the fact that we noticed that Nigeria at that time, the Nigerian government wanted to ban importation of frozen foods, and of course it's mostly chicken in Nigeria. And then we also noticed that the World Health Organization and FAO were also working on encouraging the consumption of white meat and discouraging that of beef, like red meat, because of the high level of cholesterol. So we were thinking, okay, if we could, we envisage an increase in demand for frozen food, particularly chicken, which is the most popular around us here. So we're looking at working on a machine that could make the preparation and processing of chicken something easy. So we try to see, as literature review, which is required in research, we try to see the existing models. So we went around to see at that level, at the medium scale, what is available in the market. And we were able to see some few models, and what we noticed is that the existing models at that capacity and specification they are a bit complex to operate, bulky, even though the productivity is just low. They can't work on more than a chicken at a time, and then you have something very big, which is bulky and then difficult to operate and also expensive. And so we try to see, okay, what we could do to improve on it. And then we noticed that while trying to operate the models we saw that time, the feathers are going to be just jumping out and going here and there. So try to see how we could collect, and that's an improvement on the design, how we collect the feathers after defeathering, so that we can just collect it after the defeathering process. And so we went into design, and the design we came up with actually is not something we have found anyone in Nigeria for now.
Completing the project was quite a journey, as Adedoyin recalls.
Coming up with a design at first. The designing was a big challenge, and then getting the fund was also a very big challenge. Our personal fund have to go for it. We got no support, particularly from anyone, except that we were borrowed some things from the department. So, and then we had time constraints. So working around all that did not even make us to say, okay, what can we do afterwards, because we were exhausted after the project in terms of finance. So trying to pursue standardization and all of those things, we really did not, we all think of it, because we were a bit, it was difficult coming to the end of the project at first. So coming to standardizing it, we never thought about it, because we felt that that would be a lot expensive for us, and we were students, we got no other help from other organizations. So that was basically how it was that time. But even though we had a better idea, we have something better we could do, but we were limited by these constraints to what you can see now.
At the end of it, the reception made it worth the trouble.
We did our research, though it took us time. It wasn't easy, you having a concept in your head and trying to bring out something. Like we have the pictorial view of what we want to do, but we had a lot of challenges coming up with the material to use, the design, and the dimensioning gave us tough time. But we were able to bring that out. We don't have that picture before, but we're able to bring something like that. The existing designs are very, very much different from what we did.
Great reviews and reception are encouraging, but support is more important for projects like these to fulfill their potential.
It's really bring a lot of discouragement to young persons. No nation of the world has developed through other sector except technology. Most of the developed nations develop technology. And coming to Nigeria, where people do things, they are not encouraged, they are not supported, people are not encouraged. Like our own, If we had seen that people that came up with something like this in the past years have been supported and they became something through it, or the initiative became something through it, we would have pursued it despite the challenge that time. So I think the thing is that it's one of the major reason why our economic status is this bad in this country. Because if something like this, like these machines, many of them are imported, the existing models, many of them are imported. But if we could produce this in Nigeria and the government say, okay, something we can buy, an idea we can buy into, and they support and we must produce it in the market, of course GDP will increase. So I think that it's a big challenge. I mean, it's a big challenge in the fact that it discourages engineers, it discourages inventors, it discourages students into thinking of what they can do, because at the end of it all, what will come out of it? I think that's the question they will ask.
The cry for support is one that must be paid attention to, else many great ideas will never see the light of the day.
Even if we want to mass produce it, we can even make something much more better than that, because we could only stop at what we had right now because of the constraints we have in funding and time. So we have a concept that is even much more better than that if we are being sponsored to do more of it.
Despite the constraints in their environment, Adekitan knows how much development technological advancement can bring to the nation.
It is not profitable at the moment, but I believe with time we will get there, because it's a gradual process. It does not happen overnight. Like the countries that invented automobile, they started something, but some other persons went into more research and bring out more better things. So if the government could be of support right from this stage, then we could have, in fact, this invention can create over 1,000 jobs, because by the time you break down the manufacturing process, it's going to employ a lot of people. So I want the government to be more supportive when it comes to research work, be more supportive, and once a research is out, try and make available fund for mass production. It will help a lot.